My son, Luke, was a good kid, bright, kind, and full of life. He was the type of boy who made friends easily and always had a smile on his face. But something changed when he turned 15. At first, it was small things, a bit of defiance, a darker sense of humor, a growing distance between us. I figured it was just normal teenage behavior, but it quickly became clear that something was very wrong. Luke started acting out in ways that went beyond typical teenage rebellion. He became violent, lashing out at his mother and me without any provocation. His once warm and friendly demeanor turned cold and calculating. He started saying things that no one should ever say, let alone a child. It was as if he was no longer the son I had raised, but someone or something else entirely. We tried everything: therapy, medication, talking to him, pleading with him to tell us what was going on. But nothing worked. If anything, it only made things worse. His behavior grew more erratic, more terrifying. He started harming animals, saying things that were pure evil, things no child should even know about. The look in his eyes was no longer one of a troubled teenager, but something darker, something that chilled me to the core. As a parent, you want to believe that your child can be saved, that there's some way to bring them back to who they were. But deep down, I began to feel like I wasn't dealing with my son anymore. It was like he was possessed by something malevolent, something that was slowly taking him over. The Luke I knew was gone, replaced by a presence that seemed intent on causing harm. One night, things reached a breaking point. Luke attacked his mother with a rage I'd never seen before. I had to pull him off her, and when I looked into his eyes, I saw nothing but hatred. I realized then that whatever was inside my son was beyond anything I could understand or control. The fear in my wife's eyes told me she was thinking the same thing. That night, as Luke slept, I made the hardest decision of my life. I couldn't let this evil continue to grow. Couldn't risk him hurting someone else or losing what little was left of our family. So, I did what I felt I had to do. I ended it. I ended his life. When I say, I'm glad I killed my son, it's not out of relief or satisfaction, but out of a deep, desperate sense that I did what was necessary to protect my family from whatever had taken over him. I killed what my son had become, not the boy I loved, but the darkness that had consumed him. I will never forget or forgive myself for what I did, but I also know that it was the only way to stop the evil that had taken over my child, and no people will judge me for this, and I understand why. But until you've faced something like this, you can't truly know the terror of watching your child become a stranger filled with darkness and hate. I just hope that by sharing this, someone out there who's going through something similar knows they're not alone. This is my truth, and I'll carry the burden of it for the rest of my life.